Well, I have not finished the immediate foreground, but that's okay. I know where it's going. It's going to be fine. It's going to be alright. I'm not concerned at all about it. So I thought what I would do is just begin the bottom of this tree. I know I'm pretty heavily zoomed in right now, and I'll try to remember to back out. As we go up the tree. In fact, it's kind of pointless if I don't back out. We're staying in the same values in this area. You know, we used raw umber, ultramarine blue on this rock, mostly raw umber on this rock. Adjacent to it, that, which is also gray, upon immediate view, is actually ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. And as we work our way up this trunk, we're going to bring in a little more burnt sienna until the trunk begins to catch some light, which is going to happen pretty soon here. That was way too dark. That stroke was way too dark. And it's not just light, it's shape. Because once you put light on something, that's when you begin to see its shape. I mean, without light and shadow, how could you know, right? Okay, come on. I keep failing at this one particular stroke. I feel like an idiot here. Okay, I'm scraping that crap off of there. It's too late and I'm too tired. I'm in no mood for mistakes. I don't want it to be too sudden though, you know? That's okay. That's okay. That's gonna work. Alright, but let's just, while we're here, let's just paint this little nodule of stuff. This little branch that once was a branch and now it's just a knob. Trying to keep my brush strokes oriented in such a way that it shows the fact that this is round. Okay, I'm already getting out of frame, so let me back off and let me aim the camera upwards a little bit so that we can see the next bit of trunk. Not trying to be condescending at all here, guys. I just know that for certainly newer painters, it helps to see, you know, when you're using a knife, it helps to see, it's important, the direction, the feel of your knife stroke. That's all I'm doing here. I want a little bit of light on the dark side of that trunk. Okay, as we climb, we can put more light onto it. We don't want to be as high in value as some of these lighter, brighter areas, but it's okay. All we need is a bit. All we need is a bit. All right, we'll continue with our mixture here. Ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. I do not want to end up with this purplish blue. There's a lot of ultramarine in here, so we want to make sure that we stray from that. Okay. Actually, just a little more of that. I'm being a little timid here with these colors. Okay. Going to a little higher chroma again. Okay, maybe that's all right. Maybe that's okay. Okay, so on this last stroke, you can probably see that I pivoted my knife a little bit. And that's just something you're going to have to get used to, the technique of doing things like that. Okay, that's still too much burnt sienna. I don't like straight burnt sienna. It doesn't have a lot of saturation to it. The second you touch it with white, it wakes up a little bit, it seems. let's do that pivot thing again with a little more value to it. Okay, see that? There we go. There we go. I think that helped. Okay, so the direction of our brush strokes indicates already, we're doing this on the tree. So that tells us, in addition to the fact that the line drawing thins off and goes away, well, it doesn't go away. It's what makes it go away is now how we're laying the light on. So if we're looking up at the center of the tree, we know that it's heading away from us, heading away in that direction. I think I'll drop the canvas now so that we can keep you sort of in the frame. All right. No, I think I want to push the paint up here. All right, so it slowly gets stronger as it heads up our painting. And I think right here, around the place where it changes direction, the shape of our reflection, the shape of the way that it catches light is going to change a little bit too. And it's going to be more like this, right? We have to change the shape, the direction of our stroke a little bit. It all has to work together. Let's put a little more. Let's put a little more ultramarine on there. Oops, see, that was a bit dicey. I don't mind a bit of light on the back side of it. I don't want it to be completely dark. That doesn't even make sense, because everything has ambient light to it. Even the stuff in the dark has light to it. Gee, look at that. I'm already going out of frame. Sorry, guys. I'm not a very attentive guy, or am I? top of that can catch a bit of light. And I was using a much larger knife in the water, for the most part. But we need control right now. That's what we need. So that's why we're playing with this knife. It's got a good point on it. And I'm holding some toilet paper in my left hand so that I can readily clean the knife if need be as I work my way through this. Again, it's in the interest of controlling things. Well, I think my wife might have just come home. So she's been out having an afternoon Easter meal with her family, and I think I'll just shut it down for now. Oh, maybe she didn't come home. I don't know. I thought I heard her car, but maybe not. Kind of grooming things as I'm going along here. You can see now that as I'm playing with the thing, I'm not going pure burnt sienna and white. If I did, I'd have a very high chroma, which would, let me back up, which would compete with this. I don't want to compete with that. I want to come close to competing with it, but not quite. What I'm mostly concerned with is, as I said, my strokes. I want them to give this old trunk some shape, and that's kind of the point of the video here. It's breath holding time for me, because we're putting in some fairly final grooming strokes almost immediately. And I want to get them right. You do the same stroke a few times over itself and you end up with a very weak stroke. Okay, I'm going to finish the top of this on my own. But what I'll do is I'll square off the camera again and just wipe my knife off here. And because it's a single item, I'll zoom in very closely to it in the areas that we've just gone over, so you can have a good solid peek at what's been going on here from a good perspective, rather than just kind of off to the angle as the camera is while I do it. Here, let me drop this painting too. Let me just drop it on the ground. Drop it face down on the carpet. Okay, maybe not, but see how important that one single trunk is. No, it's so important because there is only one. That's why the design and the way it catches light is crucial. Joining the foreground to that distant aisle, or mass of land rather. And that's got to be done, obviously. But having that intense, you know, that's almost white right there. But it's just a glimmer of it. So it doesn't compete because it's such a small bit. Rather, it complements and it keeps your interest going over a wide area of the painting. Yes, it's higher value than this yellow, but this yellow is far higher chroma. So you have a bit of a struggle between the two. But I don't think they compete with each other because they're quite different colors. And the foreground, okay, it's a little further along. It's so close to done, I'm not even worried about it. All in all, good so far. Okay, remember, Easter has nothing to do with any kind of a bunny that throws eggs around. See you soon.